Hi, this is Miss Litton, and this is my wonderful Period 3 AP Bio class. Say hi. Hi. And this is the first day of school, so if you were absent, we are recording this for you. And we're really sorry that you're not here. Okay, so anyway, they just put these in last night, and ironically, there are 34 Chromebooks and 33 chargers. So
Happy birthday to School Park. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Space Oak Park. Have a great day.
We will. Okay. So I'm going to need to get that charger situation fixed. Also, all of the who did that for me? Did you plug them all in? Okay, so can you please do me a favor, okay, you and somebody else, if you have time, before you go to lunch, check to see if those are charging so I know if it's a problem with the computer or if it's a problem something else, right? Okay, if we don't have enough or they're not charged, you can always grab an iPad, and if you do have an iPad, bless you.
Thank you.
And you want a keyboard, I have one keyboard left up here that you can use that and associate it with your iPad if you would like. We will be using these all the time, and I've done it a couple of different ways. I have assigned, like, you will have an alpha number, which is easy for turning in tests and things in alphabetical order what your number is, and I've assigned computers, and like you always get, number 17, that's yours to get. I've also done it where it's just free for all, first come, first serve, grab whatever one you want. Honestly, free for all is easiest for you, because you could just come in and grab it and then make sure you put it away. And I would rather do it that way. The only reason I'll go to the assigned one is if some people are maybe a little bit irresponsible with putting them back and they're not making sure that the charger is on. And if I see that start to happen, then I'll go ahead and put it into assigned mode, okay? Another thing you want to know, you don't have to wait for me, and some of you who have had this class already, you knew, just go in, she doesn't care. I unlock my door at the break of dawn, and then I don't lock it again until I leave, which is, you can come in here. What's handy is that you can come in here, let's say at nutrition, and you need to finish something, you can grab a Chromebook or something and work on it. I have students that I've had that are juniors now or seniors now, and they will come in here and study at lunch. You're welcome to do that. You don't have to ask me, can I be in here? Only if I'm having a club meeting or something is the only time I would ever close it down. So you're welcome to come in here whenever you want. I never have a problem with theft. People are really pretty good about it. If you get dropped off at really early in the morning, I know some of you, your parents, just with their work schedule, they have to drop you off really early and you don't have a zero period. You're welcome if you can. I only extend this to just my AP classes. If you want to come in here and study quietly while I'm teaching my zero period, that's perfectly fine with me. Just come in, sit in the back of the room, and if they move to lab benches, you move to a seat. No, I'm fine with that. If you need a place to kind of hang and work, it's no problem. Okay, so a couple things I want to review with you before I take roll. One, I am sure you remember your GAF account, but you might have somebody next to you that maybe is new to the school. So can you check with them and introduce yourself to the person you happen to be sitting next to today and ask them if they know about the GAF accounts? Go ahead. Okay, so come back to me. Sorry, doing the little technology there. Your GAF accounts, in case you forget, like for instance, my name is Laura Winifred Litton, but my mother called myself and my siblings always by our middle name. So anybody who knows me calls, not you yet, but anybody who knows me calls me Winnie. So if I get a call from, like, on my phones or, at home or whatever, and they go, oh, can we please speak to Laura? I'm like, no. Clearly they don't know me. So, but if you go on to Q, because I've had students go, who the hell is Laura Litton, you know, and I'm like, that's me, okay? But even though anybody who knows me would call me Winnie Litton, if I was doing this, I would need to be what? Yeah, so I would put L-I-T-T-E. I want to put the on the end, but I can't because you only use the first 5 letters of your last name. And then I would put 20 because my birthday is August 20th. Now, that is a Sunday, but we can celebrate it either on the Friday before or the Monday. I'm game for open, accepting of all things, you know. I like cake and Starbucks. All right, so I would put in 20 and OPUSD, okay? Anything you do for school, I want to encourage you, always use your Gap account. Don't use your personal other, like I'm winnie.litton@gmail.com. That's my personal email. I don't use that for anything school. I put everything, because I share with documents with other teachers, anything that's my Google Drive. And you can set this up. You can have multiple Google Drives. So I have my personal Google Drive, and then I have my school Google Drive. So that's what I would do if I were you. On that note, that's where we're going to get everything. It's out of the Google Drive. You never need to bring your textbook to class. Leave it at home in a nice, safe place. Okay, you don't need to bring it to class. You'll notice I am handing you 0 papers today. That is pretty much every day, 0 papers, okay? We just access them here online. The thing that you'll use that's paper most of the time is your lab notebook, okay? Do you know where your lab notebook is, okay? You are going to want it by Friday at the latest. So if you don't have one, please go get another one. If you have one, start, you don't need to get a new one for the year unless, I understand some OCD-ness. You're like, no, it needs to be perfect. Yeah. That's fine, go ahead. But you will want to have a lab notebook. Okay, this is your binder. All of these things are your binder. And you want to get in the habit, like I said, use your email associated with school for working with your other fellow students in the classroom. Because that way you can email each other documents, you can save them, it'll save because you're logged in, right? I would use Chrome. Because you're logged into that, you can save it right away into your Google Drive if you're working in that particular email, okay? So again, you can switch between several different Gmail accounts. Use your Gap account for that. Keep in mind your drive is like your binder and then your storage center, and then you can pull them out. How many of you have already had English so far? Are you using Google Drive in English? Yeah, you will, I promise you. And so you're going to want to organize your Google Drive. Think right now what your bedroom looks like. Think back to this morning, you were leaving. How does your bedroom look? Did you make your bed? Are your pillows artfully, put on your bed? Is there stuff on your floor, stuff on your desk? Is your closet organized by both type and color? Your shoes organized by, I do shoes by color, except for boots. I put those all on the top. Okay? This is how you're going to want to organize your Google Drive. Why do I have an OCD organized closet? Because I like to move quickly. And I get up at 4:20 in the morning. I'll tell most of my classes I say 4:15 because I'll go, 4:20. Okay, it's not, but I get up early. My workout clothes are all sorted. It's like the shorts are here, then the 3/4 pants, and then the long pants, So I can grab them rapidly because I don't want to spend a lot of time. When I get ready in the morning, I don't like to invest more than 25 minutes getting ready, beginning to end. And so I have to have everything organized so I can grab it. That helps me to be efficient. Some of you are messy by nature. If you have a binder, you never use the center clips, you've got everything jammed on the outside, like it's not really the purpose of a binder, those pockets even aren't large enough, but you're just like, okay? And you cannot find anything. And you end up losing points because you can't turn it in and you didn't even know you had to do it. I encourage you, organize your Google Drive. So if you're in your Google Drive right now, I would make a folder for every one of my classes, even if they're not Googly. Because, for instance, when you do your math homework, I would screenshot my math homework and put it and save it in my Google Drive. Now I know how I did those math problems, even though I've turned that math homework in. You see what I'm saying? You could be sitting in your car and you're riding into school and you could be reviewing and just quickly go through all your math assignments really rapidly on your phone and be reviewing. So you can make anything googly and have that be your super binder. where all of your documents are stored. So I would sort, for me, I would do AP Bio, and then within AP Bio, I would probably have a folder, but you do it however works for you. I'd probably have a subfolder within AP Bio, labs, group shared notes, reviews, general documents, something like that, as you start to get documents, and always put them away. Now, did you know when you're looking at a document, if it's googly, that you can store it in 2 places at once? Okay, so I can have it, I can store things for you that I share out with you, but I can have it stored in a separate folder for me. I can have it in both places. The way you do that is when you're looking at your Google Drive, you click on something, and I think you can do it with even folders. And you just hit Shift-Z, and then you can select my drive, the folder you want. You can kind of dial it down into it, and then put add here. If it says add here, that means it's going to be in this place and that place. Does that make sense to you? So that might be helpful for you as well. So organize that Google Drive. Next, we will work in slides, sheets, and docs instead of these other items. And when if you're working, if everything is out of your Google Drive, when you have to attach something to turn in, it's really easy for Google Classroom because that's the drive associated with your Google Classroom. So that's first thing you're going to do in just 1 second. The second thing you're also going to do while I'm taking roll is you're going to log into the correct Google Classroom for us. And this is period 3, yes? Okay. And so for that, but before I do that, I need a show of hands because I have to take a physical count today of what you are. Do I have any 9th graders in this class? No. Okay. Do I have any 11th graders in this class? Okay, I have 1. Okay, do I have any 12th graders in this class? Okay, so when I'm looking, every seat is taken here, right? 32, 33, 34, so that must mean I have 33 10th graders. Okay, that was easy. Okay, so your correct Google Classroom for you, oh, you're not disappearing, okay, is this, DSSK 4D. And then what I'd like, wait, look at me just one more second, I know you want to log in, just listen. 2 things, organize your Google Drive while I'm taking roll. Number 2, get into Google Classroom, and I want you to look at the This Is Me document. It's probably the first one that pops up when you get into Google Classroom. Okay, go. And I'm going to pause you while I do names. Okay, hi, playing a little bit of catch up. We're having students go to my Google site, and probably the fastest way to find it is if you Google Winnie Litton, W-I-N-N-I-E, Litton, L-I-T-T-E-N. Okay, and then this will come up. All right, so when you go to that site, do you remember how last year, how you had an anchor page? Yeah. Okay, now let me talk to you just a little bit about that. Because I am the science department chair, I really pushed that, so I got all the other teachers to do that, and now I'm actually going away from it, and I have some guilt over it, just a little bit. And the reason is, do you remember the inherent problem with the anchor page was that we would create it, and then you would save it in your Google Drive, and then if we added something to it, you couldn't go, you had to go back and re-find the anchor page, remember that? So I'm trying to take that step out of there, and through Google Sites, I can do that. And it's kind of like this is your anchor page, if you want to think of it like that, this Google site. If you look at what's on my home page, if you need to see the block schedule, there's a link there. The bell schedule, to get to Q, you can go right here to go back to the school's website, Oak Park High School. In case you get lost, here's a map of where we are. Twitter and Instagram. You do not have to tweet and be Instagrammy, okay? You do not have to do that, and I don't want you to think that you have to feel compelled to participate in that. But I have a lot of students who work out of that, and they will tell me, Miss Litton, will you please Instagram that? Because then they like to look through those images for review. So if you want to join that, I have no problem with phones being out during class at all. I'm gonna. What wouldn't I want you to do on your phone? can't think of any text. What else would you say? Play games. It's really just playing games. Obviously, you can't use your phone during a quiz or a test, but you can have it out the entire class period sitting on your desk. It does not upset or threaten me in any way. I would like you to stay focused on the class, but some things we do, you may like to look at it on the phone. You might like to look at it on the Chromebook. I don't care. And if you have to like text your mom, I don't have my lunch, can you bring me something? Or a friend and say, hey, let's meet here at lunchtime or nutrition. Feel free to do that. I just don't want you sitting and gaming on it. But I will oftentimes put things on there. In fact, I'm going to put something on there right now. We're going to take a quick picture of this class. So I'm going to have you girls come over here. Yeah, adjust your hair. Try not to give you a show. Okay. Come in, and you know what, you guys, you will physically have to get out of your chairs and like come over into this area because I won't be able to fit you. Yeah, come over. Yeah, but come this way. Don't go to the back, otherwise you're like tiny little ant people. Okay, everybody in there? Okay. Here we go. So cute. 1, 2, smile. Yay. Okay, so those links will take you there. Those links will take there if you would like. And, oh, I need to make you smaller. Next. Oh, we will make you lark. Do you want to be hashtagged in any way? Best class ever. Wait, what did you say?
Hashtag best class.
Hashtag best class.
Hashtag period 1.
Oh, best class. Better than period 1. All right, you are officially up. All right, next, YouTube. That link right there will take you to my YouTube channel, and I record the class lectures and I post them. So if you miss class, you can watch them later. Also, if you have a good techie friend and they want to you want to call them and FaceTime in during class, you can FaceTime in, so you can see I have like a little chair for phones that sits up front, and you can be right there and go, hi. I've had people FaceTime out of an airport, out of a hospital bed, out of their home with their damn dog barking, and their mom like, what are you doing? Mom, go away. So that's fine if you want to FaceTime in and be a participant that way, but you can also watch it on YouTube. That takes you to Google Classroom. This is the 7th period support calendar. I plan out every day, OCD-ish, on what we're going to, what I'm going to review. You want to make 7th period a part of your day. Whenever it says open on there, like if you can schedule individual appointments on those days to meet with me to go over something. So make sure that you look at that. This little video, I really like it. It's called Fail Faster. And it's actually a pretty good idea. And this video was made by like people in the gaming community who like, make games. And the idea there that they're saying is get your game out there even in the beginning so people play it and find the problems and you make it better. But it really is a very good life philosophy to fail faster. Because sometimes what happens, let's say you are disorganized, you procrastinate for a certain class, and you don't do your math homework, okay? So then you copy somebody else's math homework in order that you got the points. You didn't fail that assignment because somebody supported you in that, and it's like your parents. You didn't do your work, so they call you in sick. They didn't allow you to fail and to show up without doing your work. And so as a result, you don't know to correct your behavior. If you didn't do your math homework and you copy somebody else and you still get points for that math homework for completion, even though you haven't learned it, you didn't allow yourself to fail, you don't know how to correct your behavior. You don't know if you know how to do that. So when I say fail faster, I mean try things. If one study habit doesn't work, try another study habit. The sooner you try and actually fail at something, the faster you will learn what your strengths are. And what ends up happening is sometimes people don't get into that until way late in the semester, and by then it's had too large of an impact. And so for instance, your essays, I will always give you the essays that could be on the exam. You should write them yourself. I have no doubt that you could find those essays from anybody who's ever written any similar essay. I have no doubt that you can Google it online and find that essay already written. But have you done anything to prepare yourself for that exam? No. Okay? And when you go to take that AP exam, you could be an A student in here, and you'll get the 3. You know why? You don't know the material. You never had to struggle with it. You only know it as you read it. You didn't actually build it. So because you didn't build it, you don't know how to approach it in any other way than if it's asked in that way. Do you understand? You have to be able to deconstruct it and be able to answer it in a way that they approach it on that AP exam. Own your own work. Fail faster. Find out what works for you and use that. When you look at our course syllabus, I have strong suggestions on how to do that. This is my 29th year teaching. It's my 26th year teaching AP Bio. Okay? We have a tremendously high pass rate, above 90%. Nationally, it's in the 60 percentile, low 60s. I don't know what it is, 62, 63, somewhere in there, nationally. Okay? We're in the 90s. Now, the kids you're going to be competing against, who we get these high scores against, they're primarily juniors, because normally you don't take AP Bio until your junior year. Some schools offer it in the sophomore. So those are the people you're competing against, and we pass much, much higher. Okay? So trust me when I tell you how to study. Probably you think I might have a good idea on how you should approach this class. I have given you that information in my syllabus. I am not a surprise kind of teacher. I don't throw assignments on you like, oh, you know how some teachers will do Operation Project Drop and they think you have no life other than that particular class. Boom, and you're like, oh, okay, how am I going to accomplish this? You won't find that with me. I'm OCD scheduled, what we're going to be doing every day. You do not have a ton of homework assigned. I have a lot of review things that you can use in this class. You choose what works for you. We are all so different. What works for us? Some of you, if you type things, you learn it. Some of you say things, you learn it. Okay? All of you are different in how you do. I personally, because 50% of your test, when you take your AP exam, and 50% of all my exams are multiple choice, I'd be taking a lot of multiple choice questions in preparation for that, right? And since 50% of your AP exam is going to be essay, and 50% of your exam for me is going to be essay, I would practice writing essays. And where can you get those? In your book, at the back of every chapter, there are multiple choice questions and there are practice essay questions. I would do them all. Okay? Online, I'm going to give you a digital textbook. You'll be able to log into that digital textbook. There are even more questions there. And in the syllabus, I have given you many other sites that you can use to go and review, because you want to get other voices than just mine and other voices than just your textbook, because I am not the author of the AP exam. So you want to get as many different people talking to you about AP Bio, so when they ask you the questions, you're like, no problem, I understand this language, and you'll be able to answer it. Okay? You have to decide what works for you. I will not arbitrarily say, you do these 20 questions, because that may not work for her. Maybe she only needs to do 10 and she knows what she's doing. Maybe somebody else needs to do 50 before they know what they're doing. So decide what works for you and do that. Fail faster. Figure out how you are successful. Okay, down here, nothing really of interest to you. If we click on AP Bio, again, this would be like our anchor page. Your course syllabus is located right here. I am not going to go over that course syllabus with you today. This is a college level class. What do you think I expect you to do? Read it on your own. It will explain everything on how we run this class. Okay? What I expect before class, what I expect during class, what I expect after class. Your calendar for the semester, and yes, it is a semester calendar because every day is important. Okay, I tell you, this is how you prepare, this is what you do during, this is what you do after. Right now, with your bio buddy, just looking at the calendar, I would like the person who's in look at your seats, you will have a blue seat and you will have a slate colored seat between you and your bio buddy. One is blue, one is gray, kind of. Slightly different. Do you see it? Whoever's in the blue, you're in charge about talking about class prep. Whoever's in the slate class, you need to talk about during class and post class. Go. Hurry up, you've got about a minute.
During class, just make sure we're involved and you're contributing to notes. And yes, you know yourself and post class, you have set periods as always. And you should always be moving and cover on hot candidates.
All right. Now, just similar to the anchor page, but this is where you'll go to get all your stuff. So you can see I have 3 folders set up there now. I might have additional ones I want to put in there. Your group shared notes, there's a folder there. Your lab documents will be in the other one. Your resources for review, I think I have some stuff in there already for you. That's where you will access those things. So it always will be kind of a live feed. So whatever I throw in there, you'll have immediate access to that. Okay, ask your bio buddy, do you have any questions on anything we've gone over so far? Okay, all right, so moving on, something I'm going to try this year, okay, I have never done it before, but this is me, I will fail fast, okay, I will try it, and I'll tell you the reason why I want to do this. Each of you is going to create your own Google site. Okay? Now, if you don't know how to make a Google site, I Googled how to make a Google site. I found one that was a 5-minute video. Look for the new Google sites because they just updated it. Okay, new Google sites. I'm happy to put a link for you. I might have already. Who knows? Okay, I'll try to. Put a link in there for you somewhere on how to create a Google site. It is fairly intuitive and easy to build. And when you make that Google site, okay, you can insert pages, okay? You can insert items like a text box, images, a URL like a website. You can put in a Google folder. You can put in a YouTube video that you want, a calendar that you want to. All of these are things that you could insert onto your Google site. My whole thing is Google site. And the reason why you're going to create one is you're going to need to create one that's first just about you. I don't care, you know, it just needs to be appropriate, you know. Needs to, we can review digital citizenship. It's on, and I can have you read through that so you're aware of what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. But you're going to create a page in there, and that page, and this part that's new as well, is blogging. And I want to tell you why we are blogging, okay? I am very much, I don't have a lot of homework, but I'm very much bell to bell. You know, we start, we finish, we'll, the whole time. They're like, stop, okay? I understand, okay? But I'm going to try this year, it's going to be really super hard for me to stop 5 to 7 minutes before the bell is going to ring, which will be on our normal days, not this short day, okay? And I'm going to have you blog a little bit about what we just did in class, and this is why. As a student, you sit in a class and it's like, and then all of a sudden the bell rings, you're trying to put everything away. In your head, you're trying to switch gears, get your stuff together for your next class, and all of a sudden you're supposed to be attentive for another hour and a half in another class. And what I get afraid about is that you don't get to put things away that we just learned or did that day in class. And I'm hoping blogging will help you to do that. And so what I'll have you do is I'll say, okay, we're done. Okay, let's kind of blog about it. And primarily your blogs, we'll see, I don't know, the evolution of this, we'll see where it goes. It might be where I'll have you first tell your bio buddy next to you, like, what do you think we should write? What were the big things we talked about? It allows your brain to summarize, and then you'll type it up, you're committing to it. And your page is going to be published, when you publish it, I want it so anybody in the world. I need no, we cannot have that. Anybody in the world can see it. And that's the accountability part. So you can't be like blogging on some day. You know, you can't blog like that, okay? Because anybody in the world can see it. And you're doing it on a Google Doc. So keep in mind, you're going to be sharing this Google Doc with me, and I can hit see revision history and everything you've ever typed. Okay? So anything you know about Big Brother and knowing you, just that's how it is for school. Just accept that fact. We have to do it for safety reasons. Okay? So you're going to blog. It's going to be publishable so anybody can see it, and it's going to be peer reviewed by somebody in your class when I go, and we'll do it at the end of the units. If you look in Google Classroom, your blogging sheet is already in there in Google Classroom. And what you'll do is, just like, did you see how for our class, how I inserted a Google Drive in there? You know, you can insert a document if you want to. If you look, let me go back one page. Right here, you can insert from Drive. Once you've got that and you've saved it, you might want to make a folder. I would just put it in Unit 1, your blog paper probably. I just put it in Unit 1. You can get a link for it that's viewable by anyone in the world, okay, as long as they make it a public viewable thing. And you will then insert it on your page. Now, some of you, you'll have time to work on this. Some of you, this is really intuitive to you. You understand how to do things like that. Be helpful to others. Be creative in how you set it up. But you can go ahead and access the blogging document is already right there in Google Classroom. So I created, sorry, when I updated, this box didn't go there. My blog, I was trying to be all thoughtful. See, these are reflections, so I went and got a picture where the water is reflecting. This is how my brain thinks. I probably looked at 50 different pictures before I settled in on this reflection picture. And this is how I build your notebook presentation, hours. And this is how you need to interpret my love for you, is I will invest in you. But anyway, that's my picture there, and I titled it What I Know Now, Reflections of What I'm Learning and Doing. And I'm going to model that along with you and blog right alongside. So if I look here at bio blogs, oh, sorry, this is a notebook presentation. If I go in here and I go to bio blogs, here is Litton's blog is here. I inserted that document that you have right in this spot, so then I can go ahead and go to it by hitting this, and I can type in on that. And if you can go to it however you want. You can go to it from your Google site, or you can go to it from your Google Drive, and it'll always just update as you change that document. The key thing is hitting the word publish. Publish, think of it like save when you're working. So you can start, if you have time, start working on developing your Google site. Okay, you need one page that's you, and then you need a blogging page. And then I will be asking for the address of that. I'll collect it through a Google form later. Okay, so think about that. Our class culture, you can read through those. This is also in the syllabus as well. Okay, good, I'm still all right. And your book, did I already tell you could leave it at home? Okay, sweet. And I like you to be on time. On time for me is if something was actually physically due, it's at the front of your row when the bell rings. And you're sitting in your seat and you already have your Chromebook open and ready to go. That's on time for me. I like people to be kind. I don't like mean people. So be loving in here, safe zone. If you are absent, obviously your responsibility. How could you know what we did in class that day? You can just tell me. I never hardly ever call on anyone. What are some things you could do to know? Look on the calendar, okay? So, you know, sometimes I'll get an email that says, email me if you're gonna be gone. Email me and I try to read my emails so you can say, Miss Little, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be gone. If you have did I already talk to you about if you have a techie friend you can FaceTime in? I have to do the same spiel all day, so I'm going to forget what I said. So you could watch the YouTube video or FaceTime in, look to see what's due and get that done. Make 7th period a part of your day. Ed puzzle. How many of you have ever done an ed puzzle before? If you look on your calendar, you have an ed puzzle due tomorrow. Okay? How will you know what that ed puzzle is? The Bozeman is going to be a friend to you. You can Google Bozeman right now, not go to the state, but go to Bozeman videos, Bozeman Science, and his name is Anderson, is his last name. I actually went to his high school when I was in Bozeman. I went out there and visited. I was like, oh. But he has excellent review videos. You can use them before, and something I'm doing differently this class, I used to always assign terms, even though I knew through research and brain studies, doing terms before you actually learn about that, it's not helpful to you at all. But I needed something to force you into the subject matter so you would be ready for me to present, so you at least look at it, and the only way I could say read it, but does every student read it? No. So I would assign terms just to force you into the book and the subject. What would be better for you is actually to watch these little videos. So that's what I'm doing, and I've taken terms out. So I'm still giving you access to those terms, so later you can go, I should know these terms, but I'm not having you write them out or turn them into me. That's up to you. But you will be watching these videos from Bozeman Science. You can go to any videos you want, and I would use that as a huge resource for you. He's got it broken down by the big ideas and the labs for AP Bio. Use that. I will assign some to you through Edpuzzle, and only go to Edpuzzle through Google Classroom. And only log into Edpuzzle. It'll let you log in with any email. What email do you think I want you to use? Yeah, the GAF account. Okay? So you will have an Edpuzzle. I will post it today. Go through it through Google Classroom. You watch the video and you answer the questions, and those add up for points. That's really the only type of, besides that and labs, really the only homework you do. And then I just give you all the reviews. You do them as you see fit. I have, if you go into the course syllabus, I have connections to Padlets from both my Period 1 and Period 3 AP Bio classes from last year. They have given you tips and strategies on how to be successful in this class. I would suggest you go to them. You will see it in the course syllabus. Because those are students, your grade, dealing with the same kind of stuff you're dealing with and what worked for them. And I had them do that at the end of the year. Okay, I already talked to you about failing faster. And you're going to want to log out before you go. But I want to get some closure on today and what the expectations are. Okay? So what's one thing you need to do before I see you tomorrow morning? Do the ed puzzle. What else should you do before I see you tomorrow morning? I want you to read something. Exactly. Read the course syllabus. Okay? What else are you going to need at least by Friday? Lab notebook. Okay? So however you keep track of things you need to do, if you would use like Google Keep on your phone, which is really cool because it integrates with Google Cloud, with Google Docs. Well, however you keep a list. That's what you need to do. What could you work on if you have time?
Teacher, sorry for the interruption. Please check your email from an email from Mr. Martin and do your warm body count. We get those warm body count forms. Campus supervisors will pick them up from you next period if you haven't already submitted them. Thank you.
Because if we have cold dogs, I think I'd be like concerned, like, what could you work on before I see you next time?
This is me page or
Google Sites. Okay, good. Your personal Google site. What else could you work on?
This is me.
This is me. Definitely. When is This Is Me due? I think it's Friday. Look on Google Classroom. And we are going to be talking about Chapter 1. You know what would be a really good idea to do? Yeah. Look through it. Yeah. It is Friday? Okay. This Is Me is due on Friday. Look through Chapter 1. It didn't ring yet, did it? No, he was just talking. Look through Chapter 1. The more familiar you are with it before I talk to you, the better you will be able to recall it and apply it. Okay? And that takes some maturity. Right? Because I could force you to have a reading assignment or a reading quiz. I could force you to outline the chapter. You will not get that from me. I'm going to treat you like a college student. And what I would say to you is, you're best served by reading Chapter 1. Keep in mind, I'm old. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know how you're best served. Be comfortable with it. If you don't want to read the whole chapter, don't. What's something you could do instead? Skim it, look at all the pictures, look at the bold print, right? So that you become familiar with it. Questions you want to ask me? No? Okay, make sure you log out so that somebody else does not get into your Google Drive. And then you can go ahead and put your Chromebooks away or your iPads. Make sure they're plugged in. Okay, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I hope you have a good day too.